Hello guys, in the last video we managed to get the Advent of Code 2024 day 13 done, and in this video let's continue with day 14. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So, restroom readout. One of the historians need to use the bathroom. Fortunately, you know there is a bathroom near an unvisited location on their list. And so you are all quickly teleporting directly to the lobby of Eastern Bunny headquarters. Unfortunately, ABHQ seems to have improved bathroom security again after your last visit. The area outside of the bathroom is swarming with robots. To get the historians safely to the bathroom, you will need a way to predict where the robots will be in the future. Fortunately, they all seem to be moving on the tile floor in predictable straight lines. You make a list your puzzle input of all of the robots currently positioning P and velocities of V. Okay, one robot per line, for example, like this. Yes. Each robot position is given as P, X, and Y, where X represents the number of tiles the robot is from the left wall, and Y represents the numbers of tiles from the top wall when viewed from above. So a position of P00 means the robot is all the way in the top left corner. Each robot's velocity is given as Vxy, where X and Y are given in tiles per second. Positive X means the robot is moving to the right, and positive Y means the robot is moving down. So a velocity of 1 and minus 2 means each second the robot moves 1 tile to the right and 2 tiles up. The robots outside of the actual bathroom are in the space which is 101 tiles wide and 103 tiles tall when viewed from above. However, in this example, the robots are in space which is only 11 tiles wide and 7 tiles tall. The robots are good at navigating under each other due to a combination of springs, extendable legs, and quadcopters, so they can share the same tile and don't interact with each other. Visually, the number of robots on each tile in this example looks like this. Okay. Makes sense. These robots have a unique feature for maximum bathroom security. They can teleport when a robot would run into an edge of the space they are in. They instead teleport to the other side, effectively wrapping around the edges. Here is what robot P24 V2-3 does for the first few seconds. So it starts to go up and then it's like Snake Game in the sense. Yes. The historian can't wait much longer, so you don't have to simulate the robots for very long. Where will the robots be after 100 seconds? In the above example, the number of robots on each tile after 100 seconds has elapsed looks like this. Okay. To determine the safest area, count the number of robots in each quadrant after 100 seconds. Robots that are exactly in the middle horizontally or vertically don't count as being in the quadrant. So the only relevant robots are these ones. Okay. In this example, the quadrants contain 1, 3, 4, and 1 robot. Multiplying these together gives total safety factor of 12. Predict the motion of the robots in your list within space, which is 101 tiles wide and 103 tiles tall. What will be the safety factor P after exactly 100 seconds of elapsed? Okay, let's get the input of this. Let's create the day 14 part 1. Yes. And then we have the input. So for that we can just use, let's do data equals this and then this. So these are the robots. We can run that, and while we are waiting that it gets run, we can then create robot. Current position is, or maybe current x and current y, and then the velocity x and velocity y. And these, if we make this to be data class, maybe it's the easiest way. Yes. So data class. And then we could have a next step. We could also maybe give the area width and area height as a, so that we know those. So basically we want to go in the next step, we want to calculate the new x and y values based on the current position. So next x and then next y, we basically want to get the self.current x plus self.velocity x, and then same for the y. And then we want to check if next x is either, so I wonder if we check that overflow. So if next x minus okay, so if next is actually, maybe we don't need to check it like that. We can just check that if next x is bigger than self.area width, then we will do so that next x is next x minus self.area width, and then if next x is smaller than self.area width, then we will do so. Basically it's below 0. Actually we can check if it is below 0, then we will set the next x to be self.area width minus next x. Yes, and then same for y. Next y, if it is greater than self.area height, we will set the next y to be next y minus self.area height, and and then if it is below 0, then we just set the next y to be self area height minus next y. So it goes from the bottom. And then we set the self dot current x is next x and self dot current y is next y. Yes. And then we want to start pre-processing the, we can already need this here, just do, we can split it from the row change, and then we want to also split it from the space, and then we can get the values there. So we can just for robot in data, we want to split the values so that we have the position and then velocity, which is then robot dot split from the space. Then we want to get the or remove the p equals and v equals, and then return the values there. So we can get parse value, parse values, parse values, the value string, and then prefix. We can first do so that we will remove the prefix. We can remove it by value value string dot split prefix, and then just get the, I think it's first. Let's try. So if we want to split p equals 1, 2, dot split p equals, oh, it's 1, okay. And then we can just again return value string dot split, and we want to split the com. And we can also like do this so that we will since this returns the list of strings, we can actually do that a bit nicer, so we can cast it to the int already. Values 1 and then values 2. So this should work. So now we can get the x and y for parse values. We will give it the position, and it was p equals, and then let's rename this actually pos and pos, and then same for here, well, and that. So now we should have those here, and then let's create robots list. Where we can then robots list dot append, we can create new robot which is pos x pos y and then well x well y and then area height and width 11 and 7 in this case. Maybe we can move those here. And area width 11. Yes. So if we run this, it run very well. Robot list, how does it look? Oops, robots list. We have robots with 0, 0 and then oops, there's a mistake. Yes, now it should. So 0, 4, 3, 3. Yes, looks good. And then we can just for E in range 101, start from 1 and then end up with to the 100. So we have 100 steps and then we just in every loop we loop all the robots through and then robot dot next step. And if we run this, it runs. Then if we check the robots list, we should see that the robot positions have been updated. Then we can so it was the quadrant. To determine safest area count number of robots in each quadrant. Okay, so we need to get the or divide the area into 4 sections. So I guess if we check the quadrants, so qx, it would be area width divided by 2, and then q y, it would be area height divided by 2. And then if we print this, out, it is 5 and 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. And then we want to calculate how many robots there is in each quadrant. So so if q, we need to have like q1 or this q or I'm wondering that is this the way to kind of, we have like these, so q1 would be effectively that q x and qy are higher, and then in this case it would be Qx is higher, Qy is smaller, and then here it would be the Qx is smaller, Qy is higher, and then here it would be this actually is smaller. Oh, sorry, higher. So in this case, Qx is smaller and Qy is higher actually. Yes. Started already going wrong. Then this is just vice versa, and then here this would be just that both of these are smaller. Yes. So if we then check for robot in robots, robot list, if robot dot current x current x is smaller than Qx, and robot current y is smaller than Qy, then we can say that Q1 gets 1. Elif we can copy this so we don't need to write. In this case, Qx is smaller, but this is higher, then it's Q2. Then Elif this switch now like this. Then Q3 gets new entry, and then both of these are smaller. Then Q4 gets an entry. And then let's see what are the results for Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. Q4 is not defined. Did I? Okay, so there is 3, 4, 3, 3. Not exactly. Maybe I can then. So Q1, if the current x is smaller than Qx and then smaller than Qy, then so there is no entry like this. Robot current x, robot current y. Was this 100 or just 5? Let's actually see where these are. So are these locations even like correct? So if we have 9 and 2, no, these are not correct. How about then? I wonder that. Okay, now they start to look. Is there one with... This is now looking good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What? 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there we can see is 2, 1, 7, 8, 9. It says 9 and 1. Okay, so I might have some issue in here. Oh, yes, I have. So if it's -1, then we need to next y area height minus we are removing too much. So okay, so next y is more than area width, so it would go to the next side. So we need to basically subtract 1 from here, and then because the 1 is already used when we step over, then next this would be also -1, or actually in this case it would be +1. Yeah, and then here it would be again -1. And then not there, but here it would be +1. Okay, I think this should make it more sensible. And let's get back to the original calculations. So we have now one x0 and y2, yes. Then 2 and 3. 2 and 3, yeah. Okay. 6 and 3. So x6 and 3. Yeah, no. That's not cutting it. Let's try like this. I think there might be still some issues. Yeah, this is not correct. So if we print current x, next x, self velocity x, and then if we print the same for y, and let's actually move these to the end of the function. So now we should maybe get something. Maybe we could just get the like 1. Oh, let's add the print. So we can distinct the. So we have 3, 3. Yes, it adds 3. That looks good, and then that looks good. Then we have that looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Then that looks correct. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Why? What was why? I think this is wrong. I think this is wrong. Why? It's the height, which is 7. Have I actually somehow mixed? No. Okay, that's interesting. So this looks good, but then this doesn't. So if it's -1, -1, it gets nerfed. To be, no, wait, how? Next y. So it would be -2, but it's too small. So it will get self area height, which is 7. So then it would be minus, oh, yes. This needs to be pluses. Yes. That's, now everything should make sense. If we try to find here the one with O, and yeah, that looks more like it. Okay. So if we now remove the print, run that, run this again, then we will just run from 1 to 101, like that. Let's do so. Boom. It's not exactly right. So is there something then? Maybe we could just use this one example that we have here to kind of prove the point. And then let's run that. Data 1, yeah. And then let's print the robot current X, robot current Y here. Oops. So it was basically first 5 seconds. So it will be it starts from 2 and 4. Maybe actually we could do so that we will print these before and after, and then have this kind of line there. So it starts from 4 and 7. Ah. 2 and 4. Yes. 2 and 4. Yes, it goes to 4 and 1. Yeah. Then to 6 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh. This needs to be. So it's like. It is like that, but then. Yeah. Okay, I think this is the issue. I think now we can even run the whole data set with the. Let's do it now properly. So 6 and 5, yeah, and then 6 and 5, and then 8 and 2. Yep. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. And then 2 and 4. Yes, then 4 and 1. Yes. Then 6 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Then 8 and 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2. Yes. Then and 6. Okay, that's wrong. So instead it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So X is not correct, but this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's correct. And then the last one is this one. So 1 and 3. Yes. So if we now make this, use the original data and set this to be the 100. Let's remove the additional logging there. Let's then get the 500, yes. And now we can see actually similar results, and then we can just print Q1 times Q2 times Q3 times Q4, which should be 12. Okay, good. So we can then move to use the actual dataset, which we can get here. And then let's just paste it in here, run it. Let's just run everything. And we got the result like this. Then we submit. That's not the right answer. Your answer is too high. If you're stuck, okay. So it's too high. Oh, yes, of course. I forgot to change the size of the array. Now, okay, let's start from the beginning. So now I have those updated. 50 and 51 sounds okay. And let's try then this one. Yes, okay. Nice. So yes, this was an interesting task, in the sense relatively easy and straightforward, but because of some small little mistakes that I made during the process, it got a bit a struggle in the end. But we managed to get it done, so I think it's good to wrap the video here. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and see you guys in the next video. See ya!